Welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner Podcast. My name is Coach Scott. I'll be your host today. It is Wednesday, May 27th. May is just flying by. It is almost done. I can't believe it. I can't believe we're still talking about COVID and coronavirus and all that stuff and lockdowns and masks. And man, I tell you, when this thing appeared in January, February, it was kind of February, I think we started talking about it. There's no way I thought we'd still be talking about it as we approach June here, but here we are. Man, I know I haven't done a podcast in a couple of days. You know how I know I haven't done a podcast in a little bit longer than normal? Because when I came to sit down here, it's that time of year, by the way. It's like starting to get warm out. So, spring is here and, we're starting to see the grass is growing, the sun is shining, and the bugs are coming out. So when I came over into the studio and I had to kind of clear away some spider webs, it's like a sign like, ooh, I got to do some podcasting more often. I think I'm forgetting some things. I was like Indiana Jones kind of, going through the Temple of Doom or whatever. And it's just crazy. It happens too in the gym. If I don't do the bike for like 3 days, or if I don't do the treadmill for a few days, and I go in there, it's like the spider webs. They go from the wall to the handlebars or to the pedals. I always kind of get worried that I'm gonna have like a big spider in my bike shoe. I kind of turn it upside down. Do you guys do that? I turn the shoe upside down to make sure there's no like giant spider in there when I put my foot in. But yeah, there was a couple spiders in there the other day. It's just that's how I know. It's like you got to stay busy. We did I think the last podcast we did sort of the Ordinary Marathon recap, and I made a big mistake, which was I didn't even thank our sponsors. Our sponsors, the people who donate all the products for the giveaways, the people who, show up and want their logo on our shirts and all that good stuff. I say they want it, but really I offer that to them. It's not that they put my logo. No, it's, hey, would you like your logo on a shirt? Yes. So I just wanted to kind of casually mention them, and especially June Walker. So June Walker runs a company. We've talked about it before. Grandma Junie has a pottymouth.com. She makes things like this. This is a tumbler glass. And, she kind of hinted to me that she was sending some stuff over, but this is incredible. I mean, this is just a piece of art. It's got Team Ordinary. I don't know if you guys can see. It's got Team Ordinary on the side. It says Coach Scott right here. You're going to be seeing this sucker right here on the desk in future podcasts. This is just amazing. Great job, Junie. And thank you for all that you did for our race. I think, if anything, I mean, a lot of her products really just, people were astounded by the quality and stuff of them. They just look amazing. So you can check out our website if you're interested in stuff like this. This is awesome. I'm in love. Anyway, other people, but the other sponsors there too, they help us out so much. Mary Countryman runs a business called Athena Fitness Collections. This was formerly Greasy Girl Headband. So if you've been a listener to the podcast, I'm sure you're familiar with Greasy Girl. So check out Athena Fitness Collections. I buy stuff from them for, typically for my wife and my daughters for Christmas and birthdays and stuff like that. I love small businesses. I love small businesses that help us out. I want to thank Nicole at Queen Bean Coffee, thequeenbean.com, by the way. Every year she donates a gift basket to the race, and every year, without fail, whoever receives that gift basket is like, wow, this stuff was awesome. This stuff was great. Without fail. So Nicole, you've become a big part of this race. I want to thank you for that. Allison Knott, our team dietitian. Obviously, she was on our happy hour and coaches panel a couple of weeks ago. We're going to have her. We're talking to Allison almost constantly, and we have a lot of new announcements, new things going on with our team dietitian. I think, diet is like that hidden thing. I mean, we all know how to jump on a bike and do. We all know how to run intervals, right? You know how to do sprints, you know how to do hills, you know how to do your long run and stuff like that. There's always that look, one foot in front of the other when you run, but there's always that other X factor, which is always nutrition and diet. And some of you go out there and you run tons of miles and you're like, why am I not losing weight? Or what should I be eating? And she does all of that. Like she is the expert, resident expert. That's why she's the team dietitian when it comes to diet and nutrition. So we're going to be having her on for a lot more of the coaches panels, which we really enjoy, and we're going to keep those going. And we're going to have some other things involved with our team dietitian Allison Knott at Anewwell, ANEWWELL.co, not .com, .co. I don't know why someone has .com. She couldn't get it, so she went with .co. Also want to thank Brian Burke, author, ultramarathoner, frequent podcast guest, wood carver. He donated 2 of his books, Running to Leadville, and also Unfinished, which is his experience with the JFK 50, which is a big ultra race. And he also made I think he's currently making a metal rack, a wooden metal rack for Tamara Johnson, who won our most inspirational Facebook post during the Ordinary Marathon. So those were our main sponsors. Also, 4Run3, who I mentioned. Now, 4Run3, they did our live 5K last year. Unfortunately, we didn't have one this year. So, we didn't really have a lot of interaction. However, a bunch of people from their group did join the virtual race and ran the Ordinary Marathon. Some of them won free entrance into Team Ordinary as their prize, and have really been embracing it. Sherry B, I'm talking to you, Sandy Fielding as well. Awesome job out there running. And it's, I gotta say, it's always been, Ordinary Marathon has always been sort of this like online community that's just everywhere. We have hotspots, I think, in Colorado, Canada. We have some people in Japan, stuff like that. We have people just all over the place. So it's really hard to kind of like do the get together or, so we've always said that we kind of wanted to have a local component of the Ordinary Marathon, and 4Run3 helped us with that last year. They were supposed to help us again this year, but then coronavirus, no 5K, but still to have some of their group join the race and really just be energetic participants in it. It's good to have that. It's one of those things too. They have a running group. We have a running group. We're both in the same town. You'd think there'd be like some competition or contention between us, and there's really not. We support them. They support us. And that's kind of what I always love about this running community. Especially when it comes to, how we kind of like generate our attention and stuff like that. There's no real competition. We love the sport of running. We love the sport of triathlon. We encourage other people to join it and to do it and to just engage in it if they so desire, and that way we're all alike and we all support one another. So that's just kind of what I say from what I think of 4Run3, and hopefully we'll be getting that 5K back next year. We don't really know, but there are some interesting changes with the Ordinary Marathon this year. Ronald Booz kind of got me on that today. Scott Frasard was here a couple weeks ago, and we talked about the Ordinary Marathon. One of the things we said is registration is always open, right? You can always register for the Ordinary Marathon at any point. So funny thing is you can't register right now. You can't. It's impossible. Now, there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, unfortunately, Forever Home Running, which was the supporting business and supporting software website development, where you would go and register for our race, unfortunately, they are no longer in existence. So we're going to have to bring all of that in-house. Now, we had a couple of choices to do that. There's sites like, what's that site? Now I can't even think about it. I want to say Athlinks, but it's not Athlinks. It's something else. It's driving me nuts. Anyway, good. I don't want to mention them anyway, because I'm going to be doing it myself. We're going to bring it in-house. So in other words, when you come on the site, and I've gotten this question frequently, you come on the ordinarymarathon.com site and you click the register button and it sends you to another page, right? Active. That's what I was thinking. Active. Ours wasn't active. Ours was Forever Home Running, and I'm not going to use active because they charge me too much money. And also because I think I can do it myself. That's kind of unlike pig-headed like that. I'm not the most tech-savvy person, but I'm the kind of person where if you show me a problem, if you've got a problem, I'll solve it. Did I just do that? Yeah, I did that. But when it comes to like web development and that stuff, I do have certain limitations to my capabilities in terms of computers and stuff like that. But I enjoy kind of like the challenge of saying, hey, this would be a good thing to do. This would be a great way to help the race. Let's go do that. So we have been, over the last week, we've been building the infrastructure to taking all that processing for the registration process and bring it in-house. And man, I've been working hard on it. We've been working a lot. And on top of that, we've got some really exciting changes that I'm going to announce now. We haven't decided the exact changes, but this is what's going to happen. The thing is this. I love this race. I love this race year in, year out. This year we raised $835 for the SAM Fund. I'm very, very proud of that. When you think about it, you guys pay 25 to, depending on if you're getting shirts, right? 25 to, 40, $45, $50, something like that. All you guys do that. You get, you might get a shirt if you ordered it, but you get a medal, you get the bib, all that stuff. And then on top of that, we donate we had 72 people join the race. Our goal is to always donate $10 of that. When we're under the structure, our goal was to donate $10 per person, which we did. On top of that, we had June Walker donate a whole basket and put it up for auction. And that raised another $80. And we had a couple other people donate a little bit extra money. And all in all, it was $835. Now, which is wonderful. Wonderful. You guys did an awesome job. And, the people that really take this race seriously and go after it, you guys have a great time. It's amazing. And I can't wait to put out the video. I'm working on the video already, but that's going to take a little while. So apologize for that. I've been working on other things. But I just think that the more people that join this race, the better. We want to make it accessible to everybody. We want to make it the best race it could possibly be. And I think for us, adding more people, making it accessible to more people, having more people come in and participate is what will do that. And so I made some phone calls around, and I especially made some phone calls to some people who might have done the race in the past, but chose not to do it this year. I said, hey, what's the barrier to entry here? What's the problem? And typically the answer is, the most common answer, it's not the answer all the time, but the most common answer is cost. It's cost. And I know what you're saying. I know what some of you guys are saying, it's not that bad. And the problem is, it's not that bad. But to some people it is. Some people it is. To lay out $25, $30, whatever it is, depending on what your coupon code is, to lay that out and then make sure you participate wholeheartedly in the race, you got to really want to do that. And I think for some people, it's just a barrier to entry. It's just, because there's a lot of races out there. And look, I saw a race the other day for like $45, and I'm like, man, I can't do that. I can't do it. Some other races out there I'm thinking about doing, by the way, but so don't, just because I just threw out that number, don't think it's your race. Because there's actually a race that cost me $45 that I'm thinking about doing. Anyway, but cost was the main barrier to entry. And so I'm thinking, how do we reduce cost here? How do we reduce cost and yet maintain the level of donating, the level of interest in the race, increased participation, all that stuff? And so what we decided, we kind of sat down and huddled up, was that we were going to do more of a la carte style of race. What does that mean? It means, all right, the things that cost us money, the things that cost us money that cause us to raise our prices, we're going to make those optional. How does that work? Well, here's how it works. So instead of going on and paying $25 or $30 and then adding a shirt to your race, we are going to make registration $10. $10 is now I'm approaching the point where you can't really use that as an excuse. What do you get for $10? Well, you get to participate in the greatest race, the greatest virtual race that's out there. Honestly, you get to be eligible for all the giveaways, all that stuff. You're going to get your personalized bib. I love the personalized bibs. I didn't see a lot of pictures with them this year. I think that was because we opened registration so early that people weren't like as in the mood and creative as if the race was going to be like, next week. But that will still be there. You will get a personalized bib. You will get, with your $10 registration, you will get a virtual medal. Now, I know that doesn't sound great. Virtual medal. What's that? It's probably just like a little PDF of a medal. Right. That's what it is. But it's going to be a nice looking medal. You can print it out if you like. We'll do like a little certificate, something like that. Virtual medal. Now, I know what some of you are saying, but your medals are awesome. And they are. They're awesome. The medals are awesome. So it will be optional. The medal will be optional. Right now, I think we're targeting, we're doing the analysis on the cost. And I think we're targeting $9 for the medal. So $10 registration, $9 for the medal. That's still less. Right? Now, that is still less than what you guys were paying last year. I encourage you guys to get the medal, too. And then the race shirt. The race shirt will be on top of that. We haven't decided the cost on that. It's either going to be like $15 or $20, depending on our supplier, how it comes in. We have to design the shirt, all that stuff. The design will come later, though. But we'll be able to generate a price. To be honest, I'm thinking 15 because I want to keep it low for you guys, but it might have to be 20. We'll see. Either way, right? So it was costing you about it was costing $30 plus $20 for the shirt. So it was costing $50 to do the race if you wanted the shirt. And then if you had a coupon code, it was like $5 off. So say $45 to do the race. So now next year, registration $10, medal $9, shirt 15, maybe 20. Let's call it 20. We'll err to the high side. That's $39. $39. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have an optional donation. So listen, I'm giving you the bare bones on this race. I really am. I'm trying to make it so this is why I'm doing it, is because I believe that we are, in general, we're generous people. And I believe we're generous to the point that we can be within our financial structure, right? And some people have more access to that and some people don't. So, but we want people to join this race. So $10 registration, that's nothing. Join the race. Enjoy it. Be eligible for the prizes. We're going to be giving away prizes over the summer too, like we did last year. We gave away a Garmin last year. I don't know that that's going to happen necessarily, but we're looking into that. We are looking into that. We just got to find someone who donated. Anyone want to donate a Garmin? Seriously. But yeah, a lot of giveaways. And I think it's going to be better. I think it's going to be, we're just making the race more accessible to everybody else. And I think it's a good change. And the donation will make the donation optional. So, if you want to donate $5, $10, there'll be a drop down. $5, $10. If you don't want to donate, if you can't do it, that's fine. We understand. But we kind of want to embrace our own, I think that our group is a generous group. I think we're a charitable group. I think we're always looking for opportunities to do things like that. Obviously, we're going to be donating some of the proceeds to the charity of our choice. But we're going to rely on you guys and your generosity there too. And in the end, I think it's great because what it does is it solves a lot of problems, right? It takes the cost down for, as a barrier to entry, people who want to do it but can't. And no one's going to know. No one's going to know. It makes it, your medals are still going to be there available for you if you so choose. Your shirt is going to be available for you if you so choose. And all those prizes, you're going to be eligible to win, all that stuff. You're going to be able to enjoy the group as a whole, enjoy the race. I'm selling myself on this thing a little bit too, but I think this is what's kind of been taken the last couple week and a half, just trying to get all the infrastructure down to be able to handle that type of transaction. As opposed to just kind of going on and saying yes shirt, no shirt, and that's it. I believe in this race. I think it's a great race. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it next year. It's going to keep going and keep going. And I'm loving it. And I love that we sent out that check. Stephanie and I did a little Facebook Live video the other day, sent out the check to the SAM Fund. You guys are great. In terms of training, by the way, I have another podcast coming out tonight. My friend Rich, who I talked to you guys about a couple weeks ago. Rich was a high school friend of mine. Also went to the same college together for a year. He was a couple years younger than me. And kind of guy who, might not be, I haven't talked to him in years. But, you always kind of like root for a guy or, you care about the guy. You just, you don't talk to him for a while. So recently, I posted something about the Ordinary Marathon. He got in touch with me, and we started chatting. And it turns out that Rich, who's always been an athlete, lost his foot a few months ago to some sort of skin disease. We're going to talk about that tonight. It should be an interesting podcast, something different. But we were chatting on Messenger together, sort of texting back and forth. And I said to him, I've seen people finish full Ironman races with no legs. So you lost a foot, man. That's like no excuse. You got no excuse. No excuse. And it's kind of interesting. We had an interesting conversation. I'm looking forward to continuing that conversation sort of on the podcast. It'll be a different kind of podcast, something that we haven't really done before. I always kind of like those original type podcasts. But I'm really looking forward to having Rich on tonight, and we'll talk about that. In terms of training, my expectation for the Ordinary Marathon was that I was going to run a lot of miles, which I did. I finished my 26.2 over the 10 days, and that was going to kind of push me forward into more of a routine of running on a more regular basis. Can I tell you that I haven't run a day after that last Sunday where I ran 6 miles? I've done a bunch of bikes, no running. Steph and I go for a walk almost every day with the baby. And, we used to push the stroller, and a couple times I pushed the running stroller and I did a run, and that was good. Our problem, I think, now is that our baby is a little bit belligerent. And what we did was we kind of spoiled her. We let her walk one day. We let her get out of the stroller and walk. And this kid walked a half a mile up a giant hill. Now, if you want to feel better about your pace, sometimes people go out there and say, my pace is 14 minutes and I wish I was fast. My pace sucks. My pace is 11 minutes. It's slow. Whatever it is that your number, and you get upset over it. Ellie walks 77-minute miles. All right? How about that? Talk about patience from parents. Let me tell you. I'm not sure how many calories I'm burning at that pace, but yeah. But I mean, granted, there was a hill in there and her legs are about, a foot long, not even. But she gets out there and she walks. And the problem is when we walk with the stroller and we walk with her and she walks, she's slow, she walks. And then trying to get her back in the stroller, she flips out. And so now, of course, she won't go in the stroller. She has to walk. And it's cute and it's nice. And it's kind of like, as a parent, you want to promote that, right? You want to promote that sort of independent feeling of doing things by herself, and B, that active feeling. You want her to be active. You want her to be outside. You don't want her to just be in the stroller getting pushed all the time. If she wants to get out and walk, she should. I encourage that as a parent, right? So it's one of those things I'm kind of caught between a rock and a hard place in terms of getting her out to do a run when she wants to run herself. She's pig-headed like her old man. I think that, unfortunately she's got that genetic disposition. Anyway, so it's been hard to get out there and run. I've done, like I said, I've done a lot of biking, but no running. It's been really nice weather outside. I've been really just kind of in front of the computer trying to figure out this stuff for the Ordinary Marathon next year. We're going to get registration open really soon. And lastly, we've done a couple of these happy hour / coaches panels, right? They've been a pretty big hit. I'm considering them a big hit. We've got probably attends about 15 people to both on average. Really great questions you guys have, really good topics, smart people that we've had come in and answer your questions. Our next, I'm super excited about Friday's happy hour, guys. Our guest is Heather Samuelson. She's a personal trainer, local personal trainer. She's tough as nails. She trained me, she trained Stephanie, and she's smart as hell. One of the common questions I get as a coach is how to incorporate strength training into your training as an endurance athlete. When do you do high reps, low reps? What kind of strength training exercises do you do? Do you do squats? Do you do lunges? How much legs are you supposed to be doing when your legs are really getting a workout every single day because you're running 10 miles or you're biking 50 miles, whatever it may be, right? How do you incorporate strength training into that? Great question. And, I can give my answer as a coach, and I do, but here's your chance to ask someone who is just an expert, the smartest person I know when it comes to this kind of stuff. So here's your chance. Join us on Friday night. I'm not going to give the Zoom information. We'll do that on the Facebook group. So go down to facebook.com / actually. Groups / Ordinary Marathoners, plural. Add yourself to the group if you're not a member already. Join Team Ordinary if you can. These things are getting. I'm very optimistic about the coaches panels. And Zoom kind of maxes you out at a certain point when it comes to people watching. So we don't want to have to restrict the number of people we take into these coaches panels. Eventually that may have to happen. But go to first things first, join our discussion group at Ordinary Marathoners on Facebook. Do that. And you'll get all the links and stuff to Zoom. I've heard horror stories about Zoom meetings where people made their links public and the people that show up to those things. So I'm not going to do that. I just want to kind of keep it in an immediate circle here and just getting people that we know are supportive and productive when it comes to these meetings. That being said, I'm looking forward to this week. I'm looking forward to all the great things that we have going on here at Team Ordinary Marathoner. Very optimistic. Hope you guys are too. Junie, thanks again for this thing. This is awesome. Remember, every day is an ordinary day unless you make it extraordinary. So get after it, guys.